Good morning, or good afternoon. It is the 30th of March 2018 and I'm here down by my favourite stretch of river, just enjoying myself. You can hear wildlife everywhere, the birds are singing. It's bliss, it's lovely. And I'm here for a reason today. I'm out doing a bit of a recce for an overnight camp. I'll be coming down the river in my canoe soon, and there's a few spots down here which I know I can get away with, but I'm going somewhere new, and so I'm just down here, just spending an hour just sitting here watching the wildlife, seeing what happens in the woodlands on the opposite bank, looking for any signs of life. And if I see none, then I'll return and have a camp out. What I've done beforehand is I've checked the maps, seen the local footpaths and the proximity to farmhouses and other buildings, and yeah, it looks good. Looks quite nice. It's out of sight where I'm thinking of camping, and yeah, we'll see. So here we are. This is a stretch of river. Beautiful piece of woodland on the far bank there. I'm sure those of you who know me will recognise this stretch, and it doesn't get much better than this. So one of the things I'm looking out for whilst I'm doing this little recce is any signs of life. I can hear some farm traffic off in the distance, but earlier on, which I didn't film and I should have done, I walked on the footpath on the other side of the river, which is a good quarter mile, half mile beyond the far bank, so I could see both sides of the woodland. It's pretty much inaccessible from the far side, which is good. I don't even think the tractors can get down there, which would be ideal. I can't be snuck up on from the other side. And I'm hearing a lot of disturbance from the pheasants at the minute. Quite distinctive noise they make. I don't know whether that's just the males. There we go, males squaring up to each other, or whether there's something else in there disturbing them. But I think it's non-human. So we'll see. So whilst I'm sat here, I've just been having a nosy, and I've looked down by my feet and I've spotted something quite interesting. So I'll flick over to that in a minute, but you can probably see some just over my shoulder, and it's cramp ball, or King Alfred's cake. So let's take a closer look. There we go. So just here, right underneath where I'm sitting on this log, there's some cramp ball, King Alfred's cake, and it's turning a lovely dark black colour, but at the minute it's still a little bit brown and it's still quite green. Yeah, I'm not going to get that one off. But whilst it's sort of brown like that, it means it's still fresh and alive, and it won't work straight away. If I can find some older stuff, here we go. I can pop it off a lot easier. There we go. So, cramp ball. Really useful stuff. Really useful stuff. So let's tweak that. So there you have it. Cramp ball. And if you look real closely around the top here, where it's broken off, you can see these concentric circles. That's where it gets its Latin name, or part of its Latin name, Daldinia concentrica. And basically it takes an ember really, really easily. Very, very soft, very dry. Naturally, this has come straight off the tree, very dry, and it will take an ember without much effort at all. King Alfred's cake is another name for this thing. The story goes that King Alfred was hiding from the Danes, and he hid in the bakery. And whilst in hiding, he he was told to bake some cakes, and they came out rather burnt looking, and looking like these things. So they got the name King Alfred's cake. So I'm just going to take my lighter here, and hopefully you can see there. Get it so you can see it. Sparks up really easily, and you can throw that into a tinder bundle, some dried grass or some dried goose grass, dead nettles, your ferns and stuff like that, and use that as an ember extender. And what I mean by that is when you make that first initial ember, when you're doing something like the bow drill, the hand drill, or anything that just creates a small ember to begin with, and you want to turn that into a larger flame, you can use this to take that small ember and grow it into a much larger coal, which makes your fire lighting much easier. So yeah, really useful material, this one. It's believed our ancestors would have used this for carrying fire from place to place. So they take a much larger piece, and they'd drill a little hole in it with a stick, and carry it, and put a bit of cordage through it made of nettles or other natural materials. Yeah, and just use it to carry the fire from place to place, which is really important. Back then they weren't able to light fires as easily as we can today with the modern methods. Bow drill and hand drill obviously were more common back then, but conditional. So if the weather was poor and you didn't have the materials, you know, you could struggle to light your fire later on. So being able to carry it was really important. Another thing that they did was take leaves. Now I've only got dock here, but burdock is much better. It's much larger leaves, and they could wrap the coal up and use that to keep it safe from the elements, and it would still burn away slowly inside there, and carry it like that. So a little bit of cordage around it, you tuck it into your belt. Because it's green, it doesn't burn through as quickly, so you ain't got to worry about burning yourself or your clothing. I can actually hold that quite nicely now. If I open it up, that's still glowing away there. So one of my useful little tools when I'm out doing recce's is this tiny little thing here. It's about 2.5–3 inches long. It's a little scope. Only a little cheapy, but it's brilliant just to keep in my pocket, just to enhance my my view of what's going on. This isn't just an ordinary pocket scope. It comes with a little attachment, and what I can do, pop that on there, and then pop it on my phone. There we go. You won't be able to see me, I don't think. Ooh, bloody hell. So yeah, you can see me. What it's done is magnified the image on my phone only by 4 times, but it's enough to help me see off into the distance. If I just pop this off now, there we go. Just just enhances the image, and that was £2-3 quid off the old Evil Bay. Really nice, cheap little bit of kit. Fits in my pocket, and it sits in my pocket all the time actually. Yeah, just part of my EDC. Love it, nice and light, nice and small, and it's cheap, so if it gets damaged, which I'm pretty good at doing, I'm not very bothered. Alright, so yeah, really good. You can get bigger ones. I do actually have one. It's much larger, much more, much better image from it. However, it's a lot bulkier, if I can find it. He says he's got it buried deep in the, there it is, there we go, much larger, more of a proper monoscope, and I can mount this on my tripod. I can attach this to my phone or my camera and stuff like that. It's a bit bulkier, still does the same job. It's much greater magnification on this. I think it's 10 times zoom on this. These are telephoto lenses, I believe, not digital zoom. So yeah, useful bits of kit, especially when you, if like myself, if you like to go out and watch wildlife. If you look at my Instagram page, Bushcraft Monkey, you'll see I've got lots of pictures of deer on there, and most of them are from 200-300 yards away. So I used that for a better image, a bigger image, but not certainly not a clearer image. It's not good photography with it, but still a nice bit of kit, so useful to have. There we go. So the hour's up. It's been a lovely hour. I wish I had my hammock actually, just chilling out by the river. Yeah, my hour's up, and the woodland seems very quiet. Can't see any signs of life in there. No farm traffic or anything like that. All very peaceful. So yeah, I've no doubt I'll return and do a camp out at some point, and obviously I'll show that for you guys as well. Now making my way back down to the wagon, and it's a glorious day. I think we're in for a good year this year. We've been quite lucky, I think. Beautiful. Just spotted something walking back, and it's this one here. Okay, get a nice close up of it, and that's red currant. It's the first time I've seen it on this stretch of the river actually. I'm much used to seeing it a lot further down the river. Yeah, red currants, that's one to keep an eye out. I'll come back for them later on, mix it in with a bit of gin. This time of year is fantastic for your foraging. I mean, we've got all the cleavers, goose grass coming through, all that young fresh growth, and now's the time to get it. Okay, goose grass, sticky willow, some people call it, sticks to your clothes. Anyone with a Springer or any spaniel with long ears will know how much of a bane it is trying to get it off their ears. All the hawthorn leaves, you can chew on them. All sorts of lovely wild edibles about. I think we're now getting, I can't get close enough to it, but down here in the river there's some watercress, which is quite tasty. Actually, it's something that popped up the other day. I was watching a program, River Hunters, something like that, where they're in the rivers looking for treasure. And Bo, one of the lead on the show, picked up some watercress, gave it to the presenter and said, "Here, have a mouthful of that. Very peppery, lovely taste." But you do have to be very careful with that stuff. It can be mistaken for water hemlock, which is quite poisonous, and it can also contain, it can also contain liver flukes, which is something really nasty. So just be wary when you're picking up stuff like that. Cook it properly first, boil it. Yeah, play it safe. You don't want to hurt yourself while you're out here. Enjoy it. But yeah, lots and lots of lovely stuff. I mean, if I wanted to, I could fish out here. Fresh fish, there are limitations on taking fish from British waterways. If you look on the Environment Agency website, you will see a list of what you can and can't take, certain species, when you can take them, and certain sizes of them species as well. So you can't just help yourself to any fish out the river, which I think is a fair thing for conservation. And we certainly don't want to upset the anglers either. I'm an angler myself. I like a bit of fishing, but I do get upset when I see all these reports of people taking the biggest fish out of the pond for the pot. Red Admiral. My first, he just shot round the back of me. First Red Admiral of the year, lovely. So yeah, gonna do this sort of thing. Take a look into it, find out what you're doing first, play it safe, and enjoy it. There we go, guys. So my phone just told me I'm about to run out of memory, so I'll sign off here and say thank you very much. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and like, and feel free to chat away in the comments below. Questions, answers, all that sort of stuff. You can also find me on Facebook under Bushcraft Monkey, MUNKI, which is what I sign off as. Thanks for watching. See you again.